Top 10 rating deck list. These are the top 10 decks. If you are unaware, they added a new rating above Master 1. By reaching Master 1, you unlock this super special ranked mode, which I'm enjoying a lot. It is for super tryharding. People are not just surrendering early if they get a bad hand. They actually care about their rating. So it's a great opportunity to learn, get better, and see what the best decks are in the game.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
So starting off with the first place deck list of rating duels, rating 1887. I ended at a rating of 1650 something, I forgot. I only really pushed a little bit in the last few days. So that I was in the top 5%. So we have tier limit, and it is not using any weird engines here like Horus. It's not using the Revolution Synchron. Why is that? Well, I continually emphasize on stream through good deck building, you need enough of non-engine hand traps and board breakers for your deck to perform well. So looking at this, at minimum, I would say 12. Maybe you heard me say 15. 15's a bit too much. That's kind of the Duel decks are able to afford playing 15 non-engine. So we have 3 Max C, 6 Ash Blossom with the Max C, and then we have 7 with the Fenrir, 8 with the Pressure Planet, because this is going to help you break a field. You go second, you summon the Fenrir, you can now banish a card. They're going to freak out. Maybe it's going to eat an Ash or another disruption. So that's 8 hand trap and or board breakers. And then we have 9 through the Triple Tactics talent. We have 11 through the 2 Super Poly. And then we have 12, 13 through the Forbidden Droplets also being played in this deck. So because we're not playing the Horus and that other nonsense, we get to keep ourselves at 40 cards and having 13 hand traps and our board breakers, making this a top performing first place deck list. The Perform Mage Trick Clown, we got the Keldo and Mudora, Fairy Tale Snow, and Distrutto for good mills. So we're going to be able to shuffle cards back from the opponent's graveyard back into the deck. The shufflers will definitely help you in a mirror match. Now, Shadow Beast not only is going to draw a card when sent to the graveyard, it's also going to allow you to floodgate your opponent. That's right, get floodgated with the El Shadow Winda. So only 1 special summon per turn allowed. We have Shooting Riser Dragon with the Distrutto, which could help you get your Fairy Tale Snow into the graveyard instead of having to randomly mill it. Baron de Floor is going to be summoned through the Distrutto. This will be targeting a level 4, summoning it as a level 3, and it being a level 3 will be used with the Tier Limit Kashtira to make your Baron de Floor. What I also really like is the Psychic and Punisher. You could either use 2 level 4s plus a Distrutto to make it. Otherwise, you just make it with the Rukalos. So think about this. You have a Rhino Heart in the field, you make a Rukalos, and then your opponent has an open field for some reason. You now Distrutto, target the Rukalos, special summon itself onto the field, then Distrutto plus Rukalos make a Psychic and Punisher. Psychic and Punisher is going to be unaffected from activate effects, and it's going to become 7,500 attack at the start of the battle phase, and then the remaining 500 life points will be wiped out through the Rhino Heart. And if you have even another body on the field, you could use its other effect, pay 1,000 life, target a monster you control, and 1 card your opponent controls, banish them. Now, if you end up using that effect, the Psychic and Punisher will be enough for lethal damage without any other monster, so you could use the Rhino Heart to banish a card in the field and then go for that 8,000 for game. So I'm not surprised that Tier Limit got first place of the rating duels. I've been playing a lot myself. It is really good. So good job to you, my friend. And let's see what else. Second place, we don't have that deck list. And then we have Duel, 40 card Duel. How many hand trap and or board breakers we have here? We have 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. I will count the Bestials. 11, 12 with Nibiru. 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 15 hand traps and or board breakers, not even counting the Call by the Grave or the Crossout Designator, which I believe is a luxury for top decks being able to fit in addition to having a ton of board break and or hand traps. So that's 18 non-engine, which is why this deck performs so damn well. And not only are the Bestials good in the mirror match against Duel, it's also going to be great against a Tier Limit deck. Banish their 1 of Havness. It is limited to 1. If you could banish their Kick Out from the graveyard, they're going to be suffering. So that is nice. Good job to you, Nezim. Nice and compact. Ton of non-engine. I know the urge is there to put in as much engine as possible, but your deck really is better the more non-engine you could fit. But, you know, of course, too much non-engine, then you're not actually making plays. Very well done, Nazim. Good job on the extra deck also. Let's see, top 4, 60 card branded. I'm not counting the non-engine here, but we have Soul Release. What the heck? So we have to think of when you see one of spells and or traps, it's all about the triple tactics thrust. So we get thrusted. If we're going second, obviously if you're going first, you're not gonna be able to add the card to your hand unless they bestialed you turn 1. But even it being a 60-card deck, they do have a ton of hand traps and board breakers in here. Triple Droll, triple Nibiru. We got the bestials, which is just a part of the normal way to play the deck. Soul Release is really good against Snake Eye Fire King if you're playing against that, which is a top-tier deck. Banish out all their graveyard cards. Get that Promethean Princess. Get the Garunix out of there. Get all that nonsense out of there. They likely have an Arvata already in the graveyard. Triple Tactics Talent, Soul Release, Grass Looking Green, all addable with the Thrust. Got that one droplet, not addable. You get ashed on your first turn play on your Branded Fusion. You just follow up with Thrust, setting a duplication from the deck into the back row. Copy your Branded Fusion, which when you copy your Branded Fusion on their turn, it's not ashable again, but it is Ghost Spellable, but no one's really playing Ghost Spell. So very well done on this. Good job, SCS, top 4 of the rating duels. And then we got Pocky LLX. I can't believe this. What? What the heck is this nonsense? Well, I'm not going to pretend that I fully understand how Valence is doing well, but it did. And good job to you. I guess I could at least count the hand traps and board breakers we have here. 3 Veiler, Droll, Maxi, and Ash Blossom. That's 10 right there. 11, 12, 13 hand traps and or board breakers plus a pot of P, which could dig for your triple tactics talent if you need to. And that's also not including the called by and the cross out designate. So there is definitely a lot of an urge to put in some spicy stuff into a Valent deck. I know that myself. You may want to put in a Fossil Dyna. You may want to put in a Lava Golem. If you want to put in cards like Fossil Dyna, the Fossil Dyna would not only be taking a spot out of your extra deck, because now you got to put something to search the Fossil Dyna, but you also have to take out something like a hand trap. Instead of a Droll and Lockbird, you have a Fossil Dyna, but you have to ask yourself, does your deck already consistently set up a good turn 1 board, if uninterrupted, to win the duel consistently? If not, then your deck probably just isn't good to begin with. And unless you could super consistently set up that Fossil Dyna where it is required and needed for an undisrupted turn 1 play to still win the duel, only then would you be required to put in the Fossil Dyna. Otherwise, if your deck is good enough to win turn 1, so this is me saying Ibli and Yubel is bad. Oh, but I lost to it a million times. If you lose to Ibli in their Yubel deck, then you are probably going to lose anyway, because they probably went uninterrupted turn 1, which they are naturally going to have 8+ disruptions anyway, and that Ibli could just instead be something like a hand trap or a board breaker when they go second. So great, they made going first better, but they already win going first uninterrupted, and now they're less consistent going second. Their overall win rate, I don't think it's going to go up, but it is fun to Ibli lock people, or maybe Fossil Dyna if you're into Floodgates. So good job, Pocky. And then ABC. Super compact 40 card deck, looking nice. And what else we have here? What the? Oh, 60 card tier limit. I think I played against this dude. I remember playing against this. Yeah, what the hell? So this deck could definitely brute force through a Maxi. I think that's one of the main reasons why you'd want to play a 60 card pile deck like this. If your opponent Max sees you, deck them out. Let's go. Spam the Fairy Tale Snows, Necroface to help with the deck out. I really, either someone else was playing this deck or I played against this player. And they did deck me out, by the way. I maxed and they decked me out. That's why I'm emphasizing it so much. And I also remember they were playing Heavy Storm. I remember Heavy Storm. I remember Necroface. I remember getting decked out. This is the dude. I probably still have it in my replay history even. So good job to you. If you want to get spicy and stop losing to Max C, just deck your opponent out instead. So very well done. Good job. And then 9th and 10th place, I don't have it. So let me know if you enjoyed that quick overview of the top 10 best decks in Master Duel for season 32, I believe. Let's go.